So we begin today with what actually looks like a brand new Los Angeles Lakers secret weapon. And you have to ask yourself, well, how much does that secret weapon actually cost us? Well, the answer is only $636K. On today's show, we're going to break down just how good is the 6'2" new Los Angeles Lakers secret weapon, Nick Smith Jr. Welcome back to the Lakers Banter, as always, North America. I'm Dave Dabbah, and I bring you daily Los Angeles Laker news, trade reports, trade rumors, and of course, a whole lot of opinions and commentary as well. This is a brand new channel, so please go ahead and subscribe. I like to say that this show is totally interactive, so I want to know what your thoughts and opinions are about the topics that we do cover on the Lakers Banter. But like on every show, I like to start each show out by asking you a question. And today's question is a real simple one for you Laker fans out there. Who should Rob Pelinka at this point actually be calling about a trade for this Laker team? Now, I know Nico Harrison has dropped Rob Pelinka off of his speed dial, but he's no longer in charge in Dallas, if you get my drift. That being said, I would love to know, who do you think Rob Pelinka should actually seriously be talking about and looking at from a trade perspective? Now, in today's Lakers Banter, we're going to talk about Nick Smith Jr. We're also going to cover some of the stats from the Lakers' big victory, and they certainly needed to get back on track against a really bad Sacramento Kings team. I want to talk about that, as well as I've got a great DeAndre Ayton quote from his head coach, which we'll get to in just a little bit. But let me know who you think the Lakers should actually be trading for. Now, speaking of quotes, JJ Redick wants Nick Smith Jr. to be more aggressive. And while we saw Nick Smith Jr. certainly being aggressive in the game against the Sacramento Kings, a game in which he only played 24 minutes and posted 21 points, had a absolutely fantastic game. Now, Nick Smith Jr. is on a two-way contract at this point. He is costing the Lakers $636K this year, which of course is a fantastic number. I love the two-way contracts, and I love how that part of the salary cap actually works. It makes it possible for players like Nick Smith Jr., who was drafted in the first round by the Charlotte Hornets just basically 2.5 years ago. This gives Nick Smith Jr. an opportunity to prove that he belongs in the NBA, which was probably something he didn't really get a fair shake of with the Charlotte Hornets. Now, so far this season, and of course he hasn't played in a ton of games. He's played in 13 games at this point. He's averaging around 16 minutes. But I think one of the great things about him, at least to this point, is he's shooting north of 40% from the three-point arc. In fact, he's shooting 42% from the three-point arc at this point. And players, when they move from one team to another, especially when they're young in their career, there are certain things you actually want to look at from a fan's perspective. And as a fan, you want to take a look at how that player is actually performing in the new city that they arrive in. And one of the best indicators that that player is serious about actually getting better is taking a look at what the three-point shooting percentage is, which is certainly improved over what he did in his last year, which was only his second year in the NBA in Charlotte, and he shot 34%. So I do think that this Los Angeles Laker team at this point maybe did actually truly find themselves a secret weapon that at the very least can help hold down the fort as Austin Reaves recovers from his injury. Now, remember, Austin Reaves is going to be evaluated, I think, now in about 3 weeks. So and there's no guarantee after the evaluation that Austin is actually going to be ready to come back. So having a player like Nick Smith Jr. certainly could go a long way in helping this Lakers team get back on track and then stay on track correctly. Now, taking a look at the overall box score from that Sacramento Kings game, and as I mentioned, or if I didn't mention, I should point out that that is a very, very, very bad Sacramento Kings team. It has Vlade Divac's leadership written all over it, if you know what I mean. That being said, LeBron had a LeBron kind of game. DeAndre Ayton, well, at least he got more than 2 rebounds against the Kings. He got 11 in this game and 11 points. Luka did what Luka does. It was good to see Jake do some things for the Lakers during his playing time. And then, of course, I've highlighted what Nick Smith Jr. did. If you're JJ Redick at this point, you're looking for players that you can trust to actually have some, if you will, heart on the court. And sometimes the best heart on a court actually comes from a player that was shunned by the team that drafted him. And we might actually be seeing that with Nick Smith Jr. at this point, because he seems to have a tenaciousness. He seems to want to be on the court, even if it's garbage minutes. And he seems to be playing hard, which is more than you can say for some of the other players on the Lakers bench at this point. So certainly the Lakers will need Nick Smith Jr. to certainly step up during the time in which Austin Reaves is out. Love your thoughts and opinions, North America. Please go ahead and drop them in. And once again, if you're new to the channel, you probably are because it's a brand new channel. Please go ahead and subscribe. All right, JJ Redick, another great quote from JJ Redick that I wanted to bring up, and this is about DeAndre Ayton. JJ Redick says, DeAndre Ayton has been fantastic this season. I think DeAndre Ayton needs some positive reassurance. And so for JJ Redick, after he belittled the entire team in the press a couple times in the past week, probably felt the need to at least single out a couple of the players who might have actually taken that to heart. DeAndre Ayton actually being one of them. I thought it was good leadership by JJ to actually make sure that this particular quote got out, because you know Ayton is going to see it. And finally, entering tonight's game against the Detroit Pistons, which will be a significantly larger challenge than what they had against the Kings the other night. The Lakers are currently in 6th place. They certainly do need some additional help. It will be interesting to see, and I'll pop this back up for you, who Rob Pelinka is ultimately going to trade for. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lakers Banter. As always, Los Angeles Laker fans, I'm Dave Dabbah, wishing you all a tremendous rest of your sports viewing day.